We live in a culture obsessed with speed and volume, big emotions, rapid-fire opinions, and the constant, exhausting push for fast success. Building your life around these massive emotional spikes is a biological trap. The human nervous system cannot sustain a perpetual state of hyperarousal. Dopamine surges feel great in the moment, but they always require a physiological payback. This graph tracks a motivation metric over time. You get a sharp surge of energy to start a project, but when that chemical high inevitably clears, the motivation metric drops well below your original baseline. This is intensity burnout. Anyone can be highly productive for a few days while they're excited. The real differentiator is what happens when that initial thrill evaporates. A rare few manage to remain fully functional while everyone else is recovering from the crash. True power is entirely non-reactive. It's the ability to stay completely steady when your environment starts to shake. It is absolute emotional control. Engineering an unshakable foundation requires a systematic approach to behavior. You are making your actions radically predictable, regardless of how volatile your internal state becomes. Surviving modern life means stepping off the emotional roller coaster. You survive by systemically outlasting the chaos, rather than attempting to match its volume. To build this bedrock, we have to look at character as a mathematical formula. This block equation displays three variables, showing that your character equals your predictable values plus your ability to take action, minus any internal motivation. Watch what happens when we remove motivation completely from the board. You have to make a conscious, overriding choice to sever the link between what you physically do and how you temporarily feel. The final output stays exactly the same. You construct this foundation one brick at a time through a highly specific three-step daily routine. Step 1 is the neutral morning. The second you wake up, you execute one non-negotiable physical task, like making your bed or drinking a glass of water. You do this with absolute strictness, before you check a phone, read an email, or let any external stimuli dictate your mood. Step 2 is friction exposure. Every day, you introduce a small, deliberate dose of physical discomfort into your daily routine. You practice keeping your mind perfectly calm and your face entirely neutral while your body experiences an acute stressor. Step 3 happens at night. It's the silent audit. You spend 10 minutes writing down the objective facts of what you accomplished that day, actively stripping away any frustration, pride, or emotional drama attached to those events. These actions sound mundane, and that is exactly the point. Over time, this routine systematically rewires your basal ganglia, the brain region responsible for habit formation, forcing it to execute tasks entirely independent of your emotional state. But a foundation is only theoretical until it takes a hit. Eventually, an unpredictable crisis, a lost job, a medical emergency, a sudden financial hit strikes. This is where you deploy the tactical pause. When the crisis hits, a massive surge of adrenaline and panic will flood your system. Your only job in that immediate window is to let the neurochemicals wash over you without attaching a single physical action to them. You do nothing. Once the chemical spike clears, you identify the controllables. This diagram models a crisis. The vibrating outer ring holds the external chaos you cannot change. The rigid inner circle represents your internal agency, the precise actions you can dictate. You then default to your base. You abandon all attempts at improvisation. You fall back entirely on the predictable routines you built during peacetime, focusing purely on that locked inner circle. Real crisis management rarely looks heroic. It usually just looks like someone quietly executing their daily habits under extreme psychological pressure. When the storm finally breaks and the dust settles, the landscape is clear. The people who reacted to every vibration, who chased the highs and panicked at the lows, have burned out. Only the stable builder is left standing. On a sunny Tuesday, these foundational habits look incredibly boring. They don't draw crowds or generate viral attention. They look entirely unimpressive. This quiet predictability compounds over decades. When your responses are constant regardless of the environment, you develop a reputation for reliability that anchors professional relationships and fosters a durable sense of internal peace. Chaos will always be loud. It demands your attention. But enduring stability, the kind that survives the worst years of your life, is silent. Become unshakable. Build stability. Follow Sir Mindful for modern wisdom.